Sales pipelines are just like the arteries of your company. They bring revenue just like your cardiovascular system brings you oxygen and everything else you need. And pipelines work like funnels. You start with leads, you filter them down to what you believe are your real opportunities, you establish contact with your prospect clients, and so on, until you finally win a contract. Well, your process can be different from this one that I have here on the screen, and that's okay. You can have more or less steps, you can name your steps differently. The point is, you start with many leads to get down to some few wins. Now, let me share with you 3 important things about pipelines and revenue. First, conversion rates. Your conversion rate is the proportion of initial leads that you manage to convert into wins. And the overall conversion rate of your pipeline is the composition of your pipeline's conversion rates at each step of the pipeline. So let's say that step by step in the funnel, we get 1 in every 2 of our leads across to the next step. And from the negotiation step, we get to win 1 in every 3 of our proposals. In this case, if we started with 100 leads identified as real opportunities, we would end up with only 2 wins. Shocking, but that's exactly the average sales pipeline performance worldwide. From around 100 identified opportunities, companies on average only manage to convert 2% in wins. And this might not be different from what you have in your business. Look, some people think their conversion rate is something around 20 or 30%. And that's a mistake. They only consider the last 1 or 2 steps of the pipeline when they say this. To be able to really improve the performance of your pipeline, you must take in consideration the whole pipeline. Second, velocity. Velocity indicates the time it takes for your pipeline to produce a win. Consequentially, how long you take to make revenue. Again, your pipeline might have different durations than this one. The point here is, the faster you are, the more revenue you make per year. Third, recycling. Let's say that we started our pipeline chasing 100 opportunities. Step by step, we go losing some and keeping some according to our conversion rates. So we start with 100 and end up with 2. Now, if we look at this from a different perspective, we are starting with 100 and losing 98. We're losing 98% of our opportunities. This is like missing the target 98% of the time. Sometimes it's just inevitable and there's nothing we can do about that lost opportunity down the pipeline. However, in many cases, we can bring an opportunity or a prospect client back into the pipeline in an earlier stage. And it's generally more efficient to do so than try to find a new one. To improve our pipeline's performance, we need to improve these 3 metrics: conversion rates, velocity, and recycling. And in this specific case, if we win just 1% more within those 98 opportunities that we're losing, we can go from 2 to 3 wins. Going from 2 to 3 wins means 50% more revenue. Going from 2 to 3 looks like a big step. But if you think about going from 98 to 97, it doesn't look that hard. If you could get your business better just 1% every day, at the end of the year, the compound effect of each 1% improvement would make it almost 40 times better. That's the power of consistent increments. And that's what telemetry is about. Coaching you in a way you get 1% better and then another 1% better and better consistently. Regardless of what CRM you have, it can track conversion rates, velocity, and recycling. And telemetry, just like an MRI scan, can capture these metrics and analyze the performance of your pipeline, producing forecasts and insights that will enable you making better decisions. There's no guessing anymore. And this data-driven decision-making process is what will enable those 1% improvements. So, how it works? Using artificial intelligence and based on those 3 metrics, telemetry learns about your actual performance. And considering what you already have in your pipeline, it forecasts your future performance and revenue. To make it simple, Let's picture a 4-step pipeline represented by the numbers 1 to 4 on the left. Here in column 1, for example, telemetry is projecting what your conversion rates are likely to be on the next month, and then on the following months respectively. Using a red, green, amber color code, telemetry flags the steps that should get more attention. So starting from column M1, steps 3 and 4 are the ones we should be looking into. Those steps are probably our bottlenecks today, and we would like to improve at least one of them in 1%. Well, let's start trying step 3 to see what happens. Let's vary it from 0% to 1% and see what that improvement could make for a whole pipeline and revenue projection. And here it is. Just by making the right improvement in the right place and the right time, we can change the future. And this is what telemetry is about. Consistent marginal gains, consistent 1% improvements. Now, understanding where the change must happen is just the first step. Next, we'll want to know what are the actual practical changes that we should make in our process that will enable that 1% improvement. To respond to that question, we must understand one more thing about revenue. Revenue is a system. And RevenueTEK mapped this system in 6 areas across businesses: strategy, management, people, products and services, marketing, and sales. And each of these areas comprise 6 revenue drivers, totaling 36 drivers. To give an example, your marketing collateral is a driver in the marketing area. If your collateral is good, it will help driving sales. On the other hand, if it's not good, it will prevent sales and revenue. And all drivers are interrelated and affect each other in many ways, preventing or enabling other drivers to perform. Without telemetry, deciding on what is the next best step is pretty much a guessing game. Now, each step of your pipeline is influenced by one or more of these drivers. In essence, if we can improve the right drivers, we can improve the right steps in the right time. And by doing so, we improve the pipeline's performance in the most rational way. Now, each step of the pipeline is influenced by one or more of these drivers. And by improving the right drivers, we can get that 1% improvement we were looking for. So, first, telemetry helps us finding the bottlenecks. Then it points us to the drivers we must improve. And finally, it provides us with the blueprints, with the practical actions we should take to improve those drivers. And regardless of how complex your business is, telemetry can handle it. If you operate in Australia nationwide, for example, you'd be interested in understanding your performance state by state, city per city, and so on. Telemetry can analyze your whole pipeline or subdivisions of it. You can understand where your bottlenecks are in each instance and even compare them. The level of insight you get with telemetry, you don't get anywhere else. Telemetry comes on the back of decades of consultancy with countless clients. With telemetry, you can get rid of the guessing approach and start making data-driven decisions that will effectively improve your performance. You can visit our website to get more information on telemetry and to learn more about RevenueTEK.